Tonight, new evidence in the double murder trial of Alex Murdaugh. Details accusing the killer's comments and demeanor to investigators, the alleged killer, we should say, the night his wife and son were murdered. Our Nick Neville has a recap of the day's powerful testimony.
Deputy Laura Rutledge testified that Alex Murdaugh had no visible blood on him the night of the killings, which both sides say is evidence in their favor.
I hate to have to do this.
I understand.
Yeah.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
So you don't have any problem with it.
In his first interview with investigators hours after his wife Maggie and son Paul were brutally murdered, Alex Murdaugh says he hadn't communicated with his wife for roughly 2 hours.
I was up at the house. I laid down, took a nap on the couch, probably, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes. I got up, I called Maggie, didn't get an answer, and I left to go to my mom's.
But in opening statements, the prosecution argued that a Snapchat video taken by Paul will contradict this timeline and place Alex at the murder scene.
But the evidence is also going to show from these things that every one of us, most of us carry around in our pocket, that he was there. And he was there just minutes before, with Maggie and Paul, just minutes before their cell phones go silent forever and ever.
In the interview, Murdaugh also describes approaching the bodies of his wife and son.
Actually, I think I tried to turn Paul over first. I tried to turn him over, and I don't know, I figured it out.
Prosecutor John Meters probing Deputy Laura Rutledge with the Colleton County Sheriff's Office about Murdaugh's appearance.
How would you describe the defendant's hands when you saw him when you were interviewing him? How would you describe his hands?
They were clean. Clean.
How would you describe his arms?
They were clean.
How would you describe his t-shirt?
Clean.
How would you describe his shorts?
Clean.
How would you describe his shoes?
They were clean.
Given the gruesome nature of the crime scene, with blood and tissue all over the dog kennels, defense attorney Jim Griffin contending there's no way Murdaugh could have been the killer.
That night, on June 7th, did he look like someone had just blown his son's head off, spatter going everywhere?
Again, I can't say that for sure. A lot of things would come into play to affect that.
Investigators also asked Murdaugh about the relationship he had with his wife. He said there may have been, quote, little things here and there, but overall they had a wonderful relationship. He also said the relationship with his son Paul was as good as it could be. Reporting in Walterboro, Nick Neville, WIS News 10.
Again, Nick Neville reporting. Thank you. Much of the afternoon's testimony featured a SLED crime scene agent who methodically detailed evidence collected at the Murdaugh's Marcel property. She detailed that there were traces of blood on the shotgun that Alex Murdaugh retrieved for what he says was protection because he believed the killer may have still been out there. They also looked at evidence on the shorts he was wearing the night of the murder.